Hey, I'm Dave Mansue for Bass University TV. Today I'm going to talk to you about a new technique that I've come upon through research and thought processes about my tournaments that come up through the year, and I'll go over that with you in a minute. But I'm really excited to talk to you today about spy baits or spin baits, however you choose to reference them. You know, like many of you, I look at my tournament schedule when it comes out in the fall, and I start to formalize, you know, what's the seasonal pattern going to be, you know, how's my approach going to be for that particular tournament. And this year I opened up with an event on Lake Amistad. If you don't know Lake Amistad, it's a very clear, deep water lake. The fish tend to suspend a lot. In 2014, I had a tournament there where I strictly used the drop shot method, fish in deep water, but I realized that there had to be a way to catch bigger fish, and I needed to come up with that method. So when the schedule came out this year and Amistad appeared again, I started doing some research. And one of my research days, you know, one of those cold winter days when we're online looking at things and probably buying more things than we need, I read about the spy bait, and it excited me because it was a way to catch suspended fish in cold water. A light line approach, a finesse approach that was developed in Japan. The more I read about it, the more I believed that it was going to be a player in the tournament on Lake Amistad, which happened to take place in February. I knew the water temperatures were going to be in the high 40s to low 50s, and the fish were going to be hopefully moving up into those staging areas before heading to the bank to spawn. And quite often on Lake Amistad, they'll suspend off the deeper ledges. And I believe that the spy bait technique could help me catch a few more fish and hopefully some better fish. Now, let me just talk to you about this particular bait. This happens to be a bait. I'm not sponsored by the company or anything of that nature, but in doing my research, I looked at a lot of them that were offered, and several different companies offer them. But this particular one happens to be a Duo Realis Spinbait 80. All right, as you can see, it's a rather small bait. It's only 3.25 inches long. The unique thing about this bait is the way it's weighted and designed. When you throw it out into the water, if you've ever fished a wacky worm or just a Texas rig Senko with no weight on it, you see how the Senko will shimmer down through the water. It just kind of wobbles as it falls. Well, this particular hard bait will do exactly that. Much like any other bait that you would count down, this bait, you can count it down however many feet you want the bait to go to, all right, before you actually move it. And then when you move it, the bait actually wobbles as it comes forward, and these little blades will softly spin. It's not a big, powerful spin on it. You're not moving the bait quickly. All right, but the action on it is extremely unique. It's just kind of a lazy bait, easing through the water. And in those cold water situations, when the fish are suspended, it comes through on a horizontal plane. It's not a vertical presentation, it's a horizontal presentation, and you're bringing it right through the fish, and quite often they just can't resist it. The neat thing about this is the fact that in many tournaments, trails now, we can no longer use the umbrella rig. And the umbrella rig was a great way to catch suspended fish. Well, this now gives us another means to do it. And it's within all of the rules that we are bound by when we fish tournaments. Now, the whole presentation is a finesse presentation, all right? The bait strictly does all the work. We don't have to do anything to it other than reel it in. Now, when you apply that, you're going to throw it out, and typically what I will do is I'll take a ride over where I believe the fish are. If I see them suspended at a certain depth, I know exactly where they're at. I know how to count it down. It falls at a slightly less rate than a foot per second, but it's close enough. You might want, if you're looking for an 8-foot depth, you might want to count to 10. Now I say that, let me just back up just a second and tell you that because of the finesse approach to this, you have to throw it on very, very light line. anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 pound test. I would not throw it on anything greater than 8 pound test.
Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Gluzek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Subscribe today.